Hi, I'm Mr. eTutor, your mystery tutor here at mysterytutor.com, and welcome to video module 8-1. In this series, we'll be discussing some tactics you should be using as you prepare for the SAT. Not tactics with regard to any particular question type, but general sorts of things that you want to do in your practice sessions to make sure you get the most out of them. In this first video, I want to restate something that I've said maybe 8,000 times by now in the other video modules. If you've been watching the modules, you can probably guess what it's about to be. It is absolutely, completely, 100,000% essential that you practice for the SAT using only real SAT questions. You should only use questions by the College Board because the College Board are the people who write the actual test that you'll be taking when it counts. As we've seen throughout all of the series on individual question types, the key aspect of every single question type is not the knowledge that it pretends to test, but rather the standards that it uses to test that knowledge. In other words, the important thing about each question type is how you can beat it using a system, and not what the question type is actually trying to ask you. Many people out there will suggest that you should use different questions prepared by other companies to get ready for the SAT. Let me tell you, this is completely ludicrous. The only way you can know that your strategies work on real questions is to use them consistently and exclusively on real questions. Another danger of using tests prepared by companies other than the College Board is that you begin to develop an unconscious appreciation for those people's standards. We don't want that to happen, because if you try to apply tricks that work for their standards on the actual SAT when you take it, you'll be frustrated for two reasons. First of all, your tricks for the third-party test will not work on the real SAT. And most importantly, you won't have any idea what you actually should be doing on the real SAT, which is the test that counts. Remember, there's no sense trying practice tests that are supposedly designed to be easier or harder than the real SAT. Once you know how to approach the real SAT in the right way, you could not possibly imagine an easier test. On the real SAT, there are no hard questions once we know how to approach the questions properly. There are only questions we haven't answered yet. Do you see how you can't possibly get where you want to go if you're not using the real questions? If you want to crawl inside the SAT's head and understand how it thinks and how to beat it, you have to use real questions, except no substitutes, absolutely none. I know I've said this a million times, but I really need to keep stressing it because it's probably one of the most important parts of taking the SAT, and almost everybody overlooks it. You must practice with only real questions. Run screaming from anyone who tells you anything else. Literally, run screaming from them. Please. All right, that's it as far as this goes. I hope you understand now. It is absolutely 100% essential that you use only real questions. Thanks very much, and remember, if you practice with the real thing, it's easier than you think.